What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised. Who's excited? The hit movie of the 2019 holiday season, Downton Abbey, based on the series of the same name, is getting a sequel, and a lot of details about it have been released so far. From the release date and the meaning of its name to a very exciting plot and characters, here's everything you need to know about Downton Abbey 2.
Years ago, before you were born, I met a man.
It will be called Downton Abbey: A New Era. Downton Abbey lasted for 6 seasons, and when the series ended, all of us were unable to deal with the fact that Downton is over. So, Downton Abbey finally transitioned to the big screen in 2019 with a feature film that continued the story in the best way possible. Based on its success, Downton Abbey 2 now lives on high expectations, and since the sequel is set to be released in May 2022, creators were in a rush to release the official name and the first look for the film. For those who missed it, Downton Abbey, the movie, was filled with plenty of drama between the Crawleys, their servants, and their preparation for a visit from King George V and Queen Mary. Towards the end of the film, we saw a big plot twist in which the matriarch Violet Crawley, Dowager Countess of Grantham, a character amazingly portrayed by Dame Maggie Smith, reveals that she has an unknown illness and may lose her life because of it. And with the implementation of a new era in the name, fans now think she will lose her life in the sequel, which would mean a new era for the Crawleys. But we'll talk about that later in the video. You'll also be surprised to know that the Dowager Countess of Grantham is probably not the reason for Downton Abbey 2 having the new era edition. So, what will the sequel bring? Let's jump into everything that has been revealed so far. A different Hugh Bonneville. Hugh Bonneville has been going through an amazing glow-up. The Downton Abbey star appeared showing off his big weight loss and new close-cropped hair, looking younger than ever. The quarantine obviously encouraged Bonneville to work on himself. The 56-year-old appeared on BBC's The One Show this year, looking close to unrecognizable. He plays Lord Grantham in Downton Abbey, and most fans admitted they enjoyed his old look more. While we're used to seeing a chubbier Bonneville, we must congratulate him for working out and taking care of himself. Before Downton, he was known for his supporting roles in Notting Hill, Mansfield Park, and Iris. He ranks second on the highest paid star from the show, with $8 million to his name. When asked to describe the series at a party for Downton Abbey's 3rd season premiere, he said, "Downton is Breaking Bad with tea instead of meth." Well, fair enough.
I do wish you'd let me install it in the Dower House. It's very convenient. The man who manages the generator could look after your...
Downton Abbey 2's release date. The sequel was initially planned to be released in December 2021. However, just like every other project in the film industry, Downton Abbey also suffered because of the pandemic. The film is now set to be released in theaters on March 18, 2022. In April 2021, Universal Studios confirmed the original release date along with sharing some pretty interesting facts about the cast ensemble in the second film. Producer Garrett Name is also excited for the sequel, saying the following: "After a very challenging year with so many of us separated from family and friends, it is a huge comfort to think that better times are ahead, and that we will be reunited with the much beloved characters of Downton Abbey." Interestingly enough, there are some new cast members in Downton Abbey: A New Era. According to Focus Features, the original principal cast will all once again return for the second film, and there will be new characters as well. Hugh Dancy, Laura Haddock, Natalie Bay, and Dominic West will all join the cast. Dominic West is set to play a wealthy aristocrat who is invited to stay at the stately home by Lord Grantham. According to The Sun, Natalie will play an old friend of Violet Crawley, Dowager Countess of Grantham. And when it comes to Hugh Dancy, there are no pieces of information about what kind of character he'll play. Do you guys have any suggestions on what kind of drama he could be involved in? Let us know.
I'll be back before luncheon at the big house.
I'm sure. But is it true they're fed from...
The first photos are here. When seeing all of the already familiar characters all gathered for the sequel, you can't help but feel nostalgic and joy at the same time. In the first look for the sequel, we see Laura Haddock as a new character, Marina Delagash, and Michael Fox Zandy. Hugh Bonneville is also back as Robert Grantham and Michelle Dockery as Lady Mary. Sophie McShare stars as Daisy and Leslie Nichols stars as Mrs. Patmore. Harry Haddon Patton stars as Bertie Pelham, Laura Carmichael as Lady Edith, Tuppence Middleton as Lucy Smith, and Alan Leach as Tom Branson. Downton Abbey: A New Era trailer. The Crawleys are leaving their beautiful estate for a journey to the south of France. The trailer for Downton Abbey: A New Era is here, and it contains a lot of drama. First, there's a wedding between Tom Branson and maid Lucy Smith, and then there's a journey that takes the family to the French Riviera after the Dowager Countess, played by Maggie Smith, says, "Years ago, before you were born, I met a man, and now I've come into possession of a villa in the south of France." To which Mary, played by Michelle Dockery, obviously surprised, replies, "What?" The second film will be written by the already familiar Julian Fellowes and Simon Curtis in the director's seat. Now, let's jump into more juicy details regarding the story of Downton Abbey 2.
And now I've come into the possession of a villa in the south of France. What?
Downton Abbey: A New Era plot. The first Downton Abbey focused on the Crawley family and their servants preparing for the King and Queen of England. The film ended with a big celebration in which the Crawleys honored the royal family. However, since this is Downton we're talking about, the show was often too tragic and had a lot of deaths in it. At the end of the first movie, Dowager Countess confessed to Lady Mary that she suffers from an unknown illness, and because of that she might lose her life soon. The Dowager then learned she didn't have much longer to live, so she named Mary her heir. Based on the trailer, the Dowager tells the family that she inherited a villa in the south of France, and with that I will say goodnight and leave you to discuss my mysterious past. The Dowager tells her family, meaning that the sequel will probably explore more of her past and where she comes from. It's really a new era, creator Julian Fellowes said in an interview with People. The further the 20s went along, the more the world was changing in so many ways. Everything from entertainment to transport was really different by the end of the 20s. That's what we're referring to in that, he added. He then mentioned that Lady Mary may not be the title or head of the household, but she is effectively running the show, explaining that the fact that the Crawleys of Downton are nearly in the 1930s is merely the beginning of the modern world. When asked to describe the sequel, he said fans are about to see an unashamedly feel-good movie, as it looks like A New Era will depict plenty of things in the sequel. First, there's a chance for a tragic death, then there's the entrance into the 30s, and of course the wedding. Jim Carson, who plays Mr. Carson, said that the script for the sequel is very funny. "If you promise not to tell anyone, I'll let you know that we've seen a script. The script for the second film is there. We've seen it. It's very funny," he told This Morning. If you've wondered whether Downton Abbey will continue the story of the first film, the answer is yes. The second film will continue right after the events of the first one. There are some questions that weren't answered in the first film and are looking for exploration. We're referring to the relationship between Daisy and Andy and Edith's new baby.
With that, I will say good night and leave you to discuss my mysterious past.
On a related note, what do you guys think will be the big plot twist in Downton Abbey? Also, do you think the Dowager Countess will pass away in the second installment? Let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed our video, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. As always, thanks for watching.